Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Does he have it? Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still start trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Triple Bypass Holy Rollers Hot Sauce 170, sponsored by the number 78 car, Ben Harcum. We are at round 4 live from Richmond Raceway. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Alex Goldschmidt here this morning as well. He's going to come along and join us for what plans to be an absolutely incredible race. 170 laps here, fixed setups, 3 sets of tyres in the pits, 1 fast repair. Lucky Dog is on, and so are the wave arounds. Let's check out the scores on the doors currently at the moment. Chad Bear is out in front on 43 points with Justin Bentley tied on 43. Sean Bradley in third on 38 with Carl Gretsch and Justin Hazlitt on 36. Also on 36 is Jared Jackson and Tyler Thumbsticks Merritt. Mark Herzog in 8th with Brad Kress in 9th. He's tied with Nick Howder and Ben Harcum. Last time out at Watkins Glen, it was Chad Bear taking a win with Justin Hazlitt and Carl Gretsch. But you don't need me to tell you. Let's have a look at last week's recap.
Ladies and gentlemen, rev up your engines because we've got the lowdown on the Triple Bypass Xfinity Series race that took place on January 25th, 2024 at the thrilling Watkins Glen circuit. It was a blistering showdown with 35 laps of pure adrenaline pumping action. The race was sponsored by number 38, Tyler Merritt, and streamed live by our friends at JP Broadcasting. At the drop of the green flag, the pole sitter, number 27, Sexy Waltrip, was all set to dominate the track, but the competition was fierce. In the end, it was Chad Bear in the 91 who stole the spotlight, showcasing his skills and crossing the finish line first. He led a total of 12 laps and posted a lightning-fast lap time of 13.3. number 027, Justin Hazlitt, put up a valiant effort, finishing in the second position just 1.75 seconds behind Bear. Hazlitt's fastest lap time was clocked at 1:13.2, proving he's a force to be reckoned with. Sexy, despite starting first, had to settle for the third spot. He led the pack for 11 laps but couldn't hold on to the lead. Nevertheless, his performance was stellar with a fastest lap time of 1:13.9. Rounding out the top five, we had Sean Bradley in fourth place and Mark Herzog in fifth. Through the race, there were a total of 5 different leaders and 4 lead changes, keeping the action intense with some incredible battles for position. As for cautions, there were several incidents throughout the field, with some drivers struggling to keep their cars on track and others struggling with old tires. So there you have it, folks. The Triple Bypass Xfinity Series race at Watkins Glen delivered non-stop excitement, with Chad Bear emerging as the victor. We hope you enjoyed this Triple Bypass Xfinity Series recap. We'll see you next time.
Okay, guys, that was last week's recap at Watkins Glen, where Chad Bear took the victory. It was an incredible race. Yes, I do not like NASCARs on a road circuit, but I tell you what, these guys absolutely put on a show. It was incredible here as well. Right, we are into qualifying, 4 minutes remaining on the clock. Let's bring Mr. Goldschmidt into the booth and have a chat with him. Hello, Alex, dear sir. How are you?
Hey James, hey everybody. Yeah, good to be alongside with you for, it's great to have a little bit of diversity going from a road course to a short oval. And of course, just been having a look back at free practice that the drivers have been able to get their wheel time around this 750 meter, 750 meter or what was it? 3/4 of a mile. Get it right, Alex. Short oval. It's going to be pack racing. There's going to be a lot of juxtaposing for position. So, and we also know that with short ovals, you've got a very, very short pit road, and the drivers are going to be on their A game. It doesn't matter, it's not going to be like, say, Daytona, where you're going to have a tri-oval where it's either going to be the outside line, the high line or the low line. If these guys have got their cars set up really, really well, they won't be either too tight or too loose when it comes to the handling. I mean, for those wondering about loose, it's going to be a bit sideways at the back end, but yeah, 7/10 covering all the drivers in that free practice session. So qualifying is going to be just as competitive.
Yeah, absolutely here as well. And what have they got to contend with at Richmond? Well, the banking itself here, it's very interesting. 14 degrees in the turns, 8 degrees on the front stretch to the start-finish line, and 2 degrees on the back stretch. They're going to have to be careful coming off the banking turns and down onto that flat surface. The circuit itself, 1.207 kilometers or 3/4 of a mile, 4 turns here as well, an asphalt surface, so that's going to be an interesting one. How is that going to react with their tires? How is that going to be able to make sure that they can get to the end if they can? Is there going to be green flag pit stops? We've got a poll running at the moment as well, over or under 5 cautions. I'm going under 5 cautions here, Alex. What about yourself?
Over. So 50-50, split the difference here in the commentary box.
Over 5.
Well, I've commentated on some short oval Xfinity racing here on the iRacing service, and the race that I was part of the announcing team on, we had plenty of cautions. So yeah, short ovals, you're going to have drivers where they're going to be hitting speeds of close to 145, 150 miles an hour. You then go to Daytona and the big sort of tri-ovals like Talladega, you're going to be pushing north of 200 miles an hour. And so they've got to really be very, very careful on turning, especially with the angle of the banking on the turns. As you said, 14 degrees, and then they've got to really sort of ramp up and accelerate the right way coming out of the corners. They have got to be very, very careful of that lower yellow line as well. Also, incident points. Some drivers have had some incidents over the course of the 3 rounds so far, as we head into round 4 out of 14 here in the, the Triple Bypass Racing League. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, Joshua Overmar with a 22.123. And first to 17th, 8/10 of a second. Not quite as close as we saw in pre-practice just before we went live on air, but there's only 40 seconds to go. I think everyone pretty much that has been able to go out there and put in a hot lap has been able to do so, but only 17 with the 160 Toyota of Tyler Ruelas being the last to actually do so. Ward Fisher did more than 2 laps and got both invalidated, and that puts him at the back of the pecking order going when we go green.
Yeah, it definitely does here as well. Don't forget, guys, if you want to go and check out Richmond Raceway, it is in Henrico County in Virginia in the United States. If you want to go and watch any racing, they do open up on March 31st with the 69th annual Spring NASCAR Cup Series race, the Toyota Owners 400. If you want to go and check it out, you can. Or you've got on the 30th the Total Care 250, which is the Xfinity Series. You can go and have a look and get yourselves involved and go and watch some great racing there as well. The grid for this race: Joshua Overmere is out in front with Justin Haslett in second, Carl Gretsch in third, Keith Hanlon fourth, Mark Herzog in fifth with Ben Harcum in sixth, Sean Bradley in seventh, Al Killicori in eighth with Jason Benson in ninth, Matt Harmon in 10th, Nick Howder in 11th, and John Crutchley the Nodge is down in 12th. Nick Howder in 13th, John Campbell in 13th, Justin Bentley 14th, Will Jester 15th, Anthony Sparaza in 16th, Tyler Ruelas in 17th, Aston Rice 18th, Cameron Kane 19th, Ward Fisher in 20th, and Grant Parker in 21st. 21 cars going to be rushing around this 3/4 mile oval circuit for 170 laps. Don't forget as well. If you are in YouTube chat, say hi. Don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that will not cost you 1 penny here on the JPB Broadcasting YouTube channel as well. Let's get this pace car underway here, Alex. 170 laps at 22 seconds a lap. Could be a quick one.
Anthony Sprazza has already said in the Xfinity chat, I didn't realise I hate Richmond this much. This race is going to be interesting to say the very least. I think he took the words out of both our mouths.
Yeah, Richmond 3/4 mile is going to be an interesting one here. How are they all going to maintain this as well? How far before we go into our first caution? Let's hope we don't get many, because the last thing we want is caution breeding cautions. That will be absolutely horrendous for us here as they are all coming into turn 3 in the entry there as well. Look at all of them cars. They look absolutely incredible. Again, running around this short oval. Now we're going to be ready to pick up on the start. Who's going to get it here as well? Is that Justin Haslett, Joshua Overmere? Don't forget the pole man. He's going to be at the front. He's going to dictate the field. Is he going to be able to maintain this once again? 170 laps, no stage break. The Holy Rollers Hot Sauce 170, sponsored by Ben Harcum here this evening as well. We are getting ready to go green. Get your drinks, get your popcorn, sit back and enjoy it. Don't forget, guys, 5 nights of racing on the Triple Bypass. Sunday, they got Gen 4s. Tuesdays, late models. Wednesdays, I think it's the GR86. Thursdays is Xfinity, and Friday is the multi-class GTP, GT3. Head over to triplebypassracing.com and you see all the action here as well. But now we're off and we're going to be ready to go green. Into the Geico restart zone we go, and it is green, green, green. The Holy Rollers Hot Sauce 170 is underway, and it is Justin Haslett on that outside lane with Joshua Overmere trying to make his way through here as well. Everybody currently at the moment got away nice and clean here, Alex. We're going to see 2 lines. Are we going to see 1 line? What do we think is going to happen here tonight?
It's pretty early to dictate that, to be honest with you, James, as Carl Gretsch channeling his inner Cole Trickle in the mellow yellow number 27 Chevrolet, going down to the inside through out of turn number 2, and he's side by side with Overmyer, who put it on pole position, but Justin Haslett has already got a 3.5 tenth or so second lead as they're about to complete the opening lap.
Yeah, 1 lap down. We've got 3 on the clock. Don't forget with the opening pace laps as well. We've got that inside line with Carl Gretsch at the moment. He's just bullying Overmere out at the moment, forcing him up onto that high line. Of course, for Overmere, he'll get to save tyres all day while he's sat up there. He will not have to worry. The car runs. It doesn't slide. It doesn't grip, and therefore he's not scrubbing off the rubber that's around the outside. It will allow him just to run a nice, tidy, tight line here as well on that outside, saving them tyres. He has managed to hold on. Further down, Al Killicori in that number 45 on the inside of Jason Benson, who has got Matt Harmon right behind him, and Nick Howder further down the order. Even further down, Tyler Ruelas in that 160 prime liveried Camry here battling away at the back of the pack. Do we think, though, one of the questions we get asked regularly as well is how effective is the draft going to be? What do we think the draft's going to be here at Richmond? Is it going to be as consistent? Is it going to be as fierce as it would be at the likes of Dega and Daytona?
Well, because you got on a short oval, you haven't got the full throttle application like you'll have at Daytona, so they'll be really sort of trying to hustle these cars out of these corners. Of course, they've got to take in consideration the 8-degree banking on the front stretch and the 2-degree banking on the back stretch, so they're a bit between a rock and a hard place. So it could be very minimal at best, but I think the handling is what's going to really help the cars get the traction, get the bite down on the asphalt coming out of the respective corners here, James, because it's never going to be easy. As Ben Harcum closing up on Carl Gretsch, he's got Keith Handler not too far behind, as well as Sean Bradley, the Canadian in the 77 Chevy, not too far behind. So again, handling is going to be a big part of this race. It's not just about full-on, putting the hammer down. It's got to be about how good is the car under these conditions, and have they got it right? Have they got the strat right?
Well, that will be the question as well. The interesting thing for Ben Harcum right about now, sitting behind Carl Gretsch, is if you haven't noticed, Ben Harcum's face is on all over the back end of Carl Gretsch's Camaro. So at the moment, Ben Harcum is staring at himself there as well. Carl Gretsch thought it would be funny and do a full picture back end of Ben Harcum there as well, which I absolutely find amazing, Alex, to be fair. Don't forget, you can go and check out Carl Gretsch at Sexy Wall Trip on YouTube as well. But for Ben Harcum, all he's doing at the moment here, Alex, is staring at himself.
Yeah, I'm wondering, why are those eyes pointing right back at me? Oh, damn, it's me, isn't it? I still remember, what was it? Did a charity event for Jimmy Broadbent, the legend of Please No Punterino, and he had, well, as I say that, there is a change for position. That was the 55 of Handlin being passed up the inside by Sean Bradley, who's up 2 spots to 5th.
Bradley in that 55 green machine there as well, in that Chev on the outside, trying to go around the outside of the 77 of Bradley here, not making his way through. We've got about 1.48 with Al Corey holding off Jason Benson, Nick Howder, Matt Harmon there as well. Tyler Ruelas looks like he's just dropped down the order. He's now bringing up the back end currently at the moment. Grant Parker did, as far as I'm aware, he has had a crash, but he did not bring out a caution. We can have a quick look and see what Grant Parker got up to here as well, and whether or not it was self-inflicted, Alex, or whether or not he just completely got it all wrong. Oh, he's high. He's high, wide, handsome, and round and in the wall. And unfortunately for Grant Parker, that has put him at least 5 laps down here as well. What a way to wreck a Camaro, stick it in the wall at Richmond.
Especially on the right side of the car itself, and that put him in the pits for just over 90 seconds. But Carl Gretsch again now trying to go side by side with Joshua Overmyer in the 22 Camry, and they are literally door panel to door panel. And Gretsch gets through in the mellow yellow 27 Chevy and back up to P2. So again, from the inside of the second row, as we're now heading towards the end of lap 14, we're actually on to lap 15 now, but whilst this is all happening, Justin Hazlitt in the 27 Ford has gotten away to the tune of 1.5 seconds, and yeah, there's still going to be more passing happening behind, as they've got to stop fighting each other a little bit here. They've got to start working together. That means they have to run 2x2 Noah's Ark style, or they have to go single file. that's going to be a bit easier. That's going to be easier said than done to tell these drivers to do that. But Kyle Gretsch has already motored away Ben Harcum in the 78 to about nearly half a second. As we see some of the battles a little bit further behind, the likes of Jason Benson, who rounds out the top 10 in the 42 Chevy, as Joshua Overmars has now dropped to 5th, because Sean Bradley in the 77, the Canadian in the Chevy, has gotten up to P4 from 7th at the start.
Yeah, Bradley there making great strides. He's got to be careful not to burn out his tyres. Joshua Overmars, the man who was on pole, is now down in 4th. Keith Handlin behind in the green machine. Then we've got Mark Herzog, Al Killer Corey alongside Nick Howder. Howder's got that inside line. He's going to bully him out at the moment here as well. Howder's going to run on the low side. He's got to try as best he can to try and put Corey off, run him up into the wall and see if he can just get him to back off a little bit. Howder's doing the right thing here, Alex, as well. I think you've got to run that inside line. It's like anything. The shortest route is the quickest route, and the shortest route here tonight is the inside line.
Yeah, because if you're a little bit higher, like we're seeing the 42 of Jason Benson, who's now down in 11th position in the order as we stand, coming towards the end of, coming up to the end of close to 20 laps being completed here at Richmond Raceway. Yeah, that tighter inside line is really paying to the betterment of those on the inside, including the likes of the 28 of Matt Harmon, who's currently sitting, we're on board with Jason Benson, who's decided to try and go in a little bit closer to the 28 of Harmon, and they're literally 0.2 of a second. Benson from North Carolina. It's all a little bit of a bump and run between the two in front. That is getting a bit too close for comfort. The likes of I think that's
Corey and Howder.
Yeah, Corey and Howder. They're battling over 8th spot, and Howder's already up 3 spots from 11th at the start in the Toyota Camry. As Overmars loses another position, this time to the 55 Chevy of Keith Handlin. So the pole sitter not having it all his own way as we've gone past 20 laps out of 170.
Yeah, at the moment Overmars going quicker backwards than he is going forwards. What's happening further back here with Aston Rice in that 65 Camry? He is chasing after Will Jester. Jester in the 74 in the Chevrolet at the moment on that yellow machine. He's also got the nudge of John Crutchley there again, sitting right alongside him. Then we've got JC John Campbell, the Australian, taking part as well. He's sitting in the mid-pack with Justin Bentley just in front of him. Jason Benson running the high wide line there as well, with Matt Harmon coming in underneath him, doing an absolutely great job. Overmars, though, unfortunately, is losing time, and he's only got 2.8 seconds until he gets swallowed up by the number 15 of Howder, Virginia Beach's very own Nick Howder here as well, as he chases him down again. But the top 3 are not very far apart here, Alex. I think this could be, if it all goes green to the end, this could be one of the winners here.
Yeah, but you've also got to factor in, we're going to have backmarker traffic coming into play. Of course, they're coming up to potentially lap Tyler Ruelas in the 160 Camry, who is pretty much on par to being a lap down off of the race leader down in 19th position. Grant Parker 4 laps off, significant amount of laps down. Cameron Kane in the 37 Ford also down at the tail end of the field. And this battle here between Bradley and Harcum for P3, and Bradley gets through, takes the tighter inside line. Gretsch looks to be a little bit happier on the mid part of the banking going through the corners here at Richmond Raceway here, James. So he seems to be happy going into the middle part of the circuit where you've got that ultimate compromise. But Sean Bradley seems to be a little bit better on the apexes. I mean, he was quicker by over 1/10 of a second on his previous lap, 23.538, and Kyle Gretsch 23.666. But then Harcum in the 78 Camry is still keeping Bradley very, very honest for the final position in the top 3, even though we're at the early phase of this race, and we still, at this minute, have had complete green flag racing. So yeah, it's just been calm and consistent, and of course over the course of this race they've got 3 tyre stops, so they've got to take into consideration fuel conservation. Bradley can keep behind Gretsch. He's going to be using less throttle input. That's going to give him a little bit of gas mileage to save, and also might help the tyres too.
Will do there as well. Hopefully these guys will be getting to the end. I think we've seen Tyler Ruelas go into the pits. Grant Parker's been into the pits. Kane has been into the pits. We saw what happened on that one. Nothing happened to Parker apart from pit entry. But this man at the moment, this number 27 on Edge Racing, Justin Hazlitt, is flying. He is out in front by 3.3 seconds. He's lapped 19th, he's lapped 20th, and he's lapped 21st. He's on his way round to the Anthony Sparrazza, sitting in 18th place at the moment. He's going into the entry of 3. Hazlitt's coming out the entry of 2. So he hasn't got a very far run to catch up with this man as well. 30 laps in. We've got 140 left to go here. JC John Campbell in the 117 Krispy Kreme Chevy. The man from Melbourne, Australia, don't forget as well. He is from Australia. So you can get what the time is roughly going on over there at the moment. Generally, they're about 11 hours, Alex. I think it's kind of about 10 in the morning, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so too. And you know, if we had any competitors from New Zealand, then they'd be a couple of hours forward of our friends from the Antipodean nation down under. But yeah, I think it's great to see drivers such as John Campbell showcase their opportunities. I mean, when you look at some of the drivers from Australasia that have now gone to NASCAR, Shane Van Gisbergen, a multi-time Australia Supercars champion, is going to be running in NASCAR this year. Will Davidson has been another one that's been over to the States to race in NASCAR. So, you know what? There's a love for NASCAR. There's a love for big, shouty, short block V8s in a NASCAR form. And Campbell really just provides that sort of like, and that emphasis that, yeah, NASCAR is loved across the world.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. If you haven't gone out and checked on the NASCAR Full Speed series on Netflix, I will say go and watch it. Literally on the 30th, I was sat there waiting for it to come out, and this goes to show how much it was. I literally binge watched all 6 series while working here as well. So I had my 6 series on my other screen while I was working on the other one, and I literally binge watched all 6. And I've got to be honest, that how they've done that with the final run-in in the playoffs was absolutely amazing. I loved every single bit of it here as well, and it is great watch. If you've not watched it, go and watch it. We're on inside with Overmeyer now as well. He's got Corey on his outside. We've got Howder in front. You can see Corey as Overmeyer gives him no room there, Alex, and makes Corey, well, make a space, should we say.
Well, I think Overmeyer did have a bit of a Code Brown moment there, squeaky bum time, when Corey just went high, wide and handsome around the outside, and he's losing another position because Matt Harmon in the 28 Chevy's just gone up the inside. So it's not proving to be very, very fruitful, this race. Stuck it on pole, did Overmeyer, and he's all the way down in 10th spot. So he's got a bit of work to do, but hopefully if he tries to just keep a cool head, maybe the race might start to come to him in the latter phases. But yeah, we haven't had anyone all the way down from 1st to 18th, which includes the 816 of Anthony Sparrazza. And there's a lot of juxtaposing in the bottom part of the mid-pack. Jason Benson up to 11th ahead of Justin Bentley. The Nodge John Crutchley 13th spot ahead of Aston Rice, with John Campbell rounding out the top 15. So yeah, it's going to be quite crucial how you pick and choose your moments around this 3/4 mile short oval here at Richmond. It's not an easy one to master. And it is going to be the case of who is going to blink first and when are we going to see the first set of pit stops, because Hazlitt has just really sort of motored on into the distance, and he's 4 1/4 seconds up the road from the trademark cold trickle Kyle Gretsch combination in the 27 Chevy. 4.2 seconds adrift, and we're getting closer and closer to completing 40 total laps, including the pace car laps. So Hazlitt at the minute is striding out into the distance. He was just under 1/10 of a second quicker than Gretsch, but best part of 2.5 tenths quicker than Bradley in P3. So I'm looking forward to seeing, who's going to go for the big undercut, who's going to go for the big overcut. Are people going to try and do an opening first long stint to get to that first tyre change. It really is going to be proof in the pudding how we see this race unfold, James.
Yeah, it's going to have to be here as well. These guys are going to have to be looking at making these pit stops as well. They are going to be under green at the moment here. I don't think if anybody is hanging this out for a caution, I think they could be in trouble. 1.2 seconds from their last laps to their best laps. That is what's going on at the moment. They are literally, most of the field are 1.2 seconds round about that mark of them from their best laps. So they're losing 1.2 seconds at the moment from what they were right at the beginning. It's getting close. It's got to be coming in soon. It's got to be, Alex. Who's going to blink first? The first person to blink, I think, will have a rush of cars after that. And if Hazlitt goes in, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the guys behind him try and stay out to put a lap on him, or a lap and a bit, or 2 laps, just to make sure that when they come in, they're going to have that bit of the buffer. Hazlitt's in traffic. He's just gone past Speranza. He's got Jester up the road. He's got Ward Fisher up the road. These guys are still running clean at the moment. Carl Gretsch, Bradley, Herzog, they haven't quite reached that point yet where they're going past the number 18 car of Speranza. Don't get me wrong, he's close up the road, but at the moment he's not causing any problems for these guys either. So hopefully green flag stops. Who's going to blink first? Because I can tell you what, if they blink, there's going to be a rush of people after.
Yeah, and also with a shortened pit road, of course, you've got to hit your marks in the pit box. You've got to, that car's got to be serviced really, really quickly. You've got to get out of there quickly. You've got to observe the pit lane speed limit, because if you have that, you're going to cop. If you go over that, you're going to cop a penalty. So that is going to be the crucial thing, is making sure that you hit your marks in pit road, get in the box, get the car on the air jacks, get the tyres changed, get some fuel in the tank, and then go for it. But it is about those hundredths, those tenths of a second that can make all the difference in the pit stop, and also ultimately how the race will pan out through careful and concise strategy, especially around a short oval. Because with a tri-oval like Daytona, you've got a longer pit road to deal with. You've got more surface area, you've got higher speeds. So there's another completely different strategy when we go to tri-oval or big ovals, and a short oval is all about strategy. And that's where the drivers can make it work, but also using that inside line like we're seeing with a few of the drivers here, like Mark.
Oh, that was a 77 of Bradley. That was with the 816 of Speranza. They did make a little bit of contact there. Speranza getting a little bit loose here. It's coming, Alex. They've got to be coming soon. They cannot carry this on 47 laps and hang this out for a yellow flag. It is just not at the moment happening. It's going to be tough. The longer they go on this asphalt circuit, the more slippery that car is going to get. And now they've got to be thinking, surely it's got to be coming soon. Because why not? They're going to be losing time at the moment. They're losing literally at the moment. Sean Bradley was almost 2 seconds off his best time here as well, while the leader is still 1.3 seconds off. It's got to be happening.
Joshua Overmyer needs to pit now. He's doing 24.5s and he's down in 14th place. He really needs to get the 22 Camry into pit road, because he's running anywhere between a low to a mid 24, and it is absolutely hurting his performance. He set it up well for quali, got a good jump, got it on pole, but everyone else seems to be that little bit quicker. Anywhere between let's take a comparison between him and Hazlitt. Hazlitt just did a 23.6. Overmyer 24.3. That's 7 tenths. If he's losing that all the way through every single lap, as we're now on to lap 52 of 170, I think people have got to start thinking, right, we're not going to get a caution. Everyone's running pretty clearly and cleanly on this circuit. One of the things you don't want to have is an incident coming your way, and then we have the big one, and in a short oval, that's even worse than a tri-oval for a big one to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. Overmyer has got to be in there. Is a blinker. There is a blinker, and it's the 77 of Bradley from the Lifted Coasters in that Duff Beer livery Chevrolet. He's had to go in there. Are we going to take 4 or are we going to take just right-hand sides? Let's have a look at what Bradley does. Does he go up both sides or does he just go up one side here as well? He's gone up at the left side. Is he going to go up the other side? Yep, pretty much. It looks like Bradley's on a 4-tyre stop here, and I think everybody else has got to follow. That's put Bradley all the way down to the field. But I can tell you what, when he comes out, if he's making up 2 seconds a lap here on these people, he is going to be fire.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Bradley on that front there, because he was in the pits for 21 seconds. So he's going into pit road and then coming out 31.0 on that lap time, James. So I'll keep an eye on Bradley and how he progresses over the next 5 to 10 laps, because that'll be crucial for us to keep an eye on that when it comes to the strategy by the other drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. Herzog and Kyle Gretsch still, close together. Hazlitt now 6.5 seconds up the road. Ben Harcum as well. Let's not forget, Ben is today's sponsor in that number 78 Holy Rollers machine here as well, who's kindly sponsored this evening's race, allowing us to be here this evening. Hazlitt's in. Hazlitt is in, Alex. Howder's in. I told you, once one starts, they've got to be all coming in.
Bradley's just done a 22.7, James. You were spot on. He was the best part of over a second and a half quicker than his laps coming into pit road. So yeah, Nick Howder in. Hazlitt's up on the air jacks. Gretsch is now in from what would have been the race lead. So this is going to give the opportunity maybe for Bradley to get the jump on the opposition. I think Justin Hazlitt, was the first to blink. Overmeyer in now, finally. Sperazza in. I'm just waiting to see who else is going to blink, because looking at Herzog, he's doing 23.6s, Harcum 23.8s. As all the 160, Tyler Ruelas has just glanced the wall and he's done it again.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a moment there as well as Tyler Ruelas. Ben Harcum still hanging on here. He's got Hanlon behind him. We've got Herzog up the road in the number 50 machine. All of these guys are going to be under attack here as well, because they have not gone into the pits. They are staying out. If they can get, well, I don't know. If they're going to go 60, it's going to be at least a 2-stop race, because we're still under green. The over and under poll was 80%, under was 5. And unless there's dramatics, I can't see that being over here as well. I have said under, and that was where I'm sitting as well. Sean Bradley in the 77, no, Alex. Last time out, 22.89. 4/10 of his best here at the moment.
Yeah, Hazlitt, for his first lap out was a 22.4. He's just done a high 22.7. So, yeah, Bradley's now found himself what will be behind Will Jester, but Jester yet to get into the pits in the 74 Chevy. But still Herzog leads from Handlin. We've now got one for, who was that late on the brakes? That was Harcum. Harcum was heavy on the brakes. Front tyres smoking as he tried to hit the pit lane speed limiter at the right speed. So he's going to drop out of the top 6. So yeah, that's going to put Will Jester is the lowest placed driver in the 74 Chevy that's made up 6 spots from 15th to 9th. He's going to be up in 8th now, as Harcum is currently, I've just seen that Hazlitt did a 14.5, so was a lot quicker in the pit stop phase than Bradley. Bradley might be going for a bit more overall grip based on the fact that he went on for all 4 tyres. Hazlitt might have gone possibly for the inside 2 on the left-hand side of the Ford Mustang in the 27. So that's probably why he's found that the car seems to work better with new rubber on the inside, and might be able to keep the right-hand sides going for a little bit longer, as there we see Bradley run the outside of the 45. He just did a 22.856 as well, and he's got Kyle Gretsch, who did a 22.736, so Gretsch 0.12 of a second quicker than the Canadian in the 77 in front of him. So yeah, minimal between the two. Low 23.3 for Bradley, high 23.2 for Gretsch. Herzog is now behind Harcum. Al Corey in the 45. leads the way by a second ahead of Matt Harmon, Justin Bentley. They've yet to pit. John Campbell in the 117, the Aussie down in 5th, having made up 8 spots from 13th at the start. He is the lowest placed driver that has yet to serve one of their first tyre changes in this race, as we're on lap 66 of 170, James. But yeah, really interesting to see what happens, as Ben Harcum has just set the overall fastest lap of the race in the 78 Camry, 22.271.
Yeah, Harcum's absolutely flying. Another man that's changed tyres. We've got Campbell, we've got Bentley, we've got Harmon, we've got Killer Corey, who is out in front at the moment by 1.1 seconds. You are leaving this so late. If the leader has gone in, it's your turn to go in. If the leader's got to done it, you've got to do it, Al. As much as I love you, my brother, you have got to go into the bits and get rid of them tyres. You are currently on a 23.88, while Justin Hazlitt currently 22.71, 1.1 seconds slower than the leader. Don't get me wrong, he's still in the 23s here. The only man who still was in the 23s, Alex, before he went into the pits here. So, you know, he's still in the 23s, but at the end of the day, he should have got in probably about 3 or 4 laps ago.
Well, Hazlitt's just got past Bentley on pace, 22.710, plays 24.1 last time around, and Hazlitt is lapping about 1.3 seconds quicker than Hazlitt. He's lapping 1.1 seconds quicker than Corey. Harmon is under fire. He's about 4 seconds up the road from the 27 Ford Mustang. So Hazlitt again is circulating his way very nicely to the front end of the field. So Corey, Harmon, Bentley and Campbell on lap 70 and 170. 100 to go after this one. Still have yet to put in their first pit stop, as yeah, this is going to be so interesting how these drivers are going to be really putting the pace down. And Harcum's still doing that. He's running in the high 22s, 22.8s. Gretsch 23.0, Bradley 23.2, Campbell's running a 24.3, Bentley a 23.9. Hazlitt's done another high 22, 22.918 as Kyle Gretsch getting up the inside of the number 48 of the nudge of John Crutchley. He's all the way down in 15th spot, but yeah, why hang it out to lap 72 out of 170? You've got to come in so soon, and Campbell now blinks finally and jumps into pit road.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I think the sense is can they make it one stop? The problem is with 170, they've got to go at least another 12 or 13 laps. The problem is where are they going to be in 12 or 13 laps there as well? We have got C. Benson cheering on for the number 42 machine here as well. That's Jason Benson sitting down in 13th place at the moment. 23.11s for the man in the 42 there as well. As Tyler Ruelas is all of a sudden got a lease of life and changed tyres, and he's looking rather racy. But I love this part of this race, you know, because I think at the end of the day, we've got all of these guys on new tyres. We've still got some on old tyres, and everybody's trying to jostle around and get back into the positions that they were in to carry on and get to the run of the race. Hazlitt is now only 1.26 seconds back from Corey. Harmon 2.33, Bentley 7.25, Bradley, but all these guys are pitted. Bentley hasn't, Harmon hasn't, Corey hasn't, and I've got to be honest, I think they've made the big old boo-boo, you know what I mean, where they should have got in a long while ago here as well. So yeah, these guys are going to struggle. I'll be interested to see how far down they come out, unless they're trying to take it to 85, which would give them only one stop throughout the race.
That's brave. That's a brave choice. But Justin Hazlitt is going to take the lead, and he's just got it.
Yeah. Straight past.
There you go.
Yeah. Mr. Killer Corey, who was given the name by Mr. P. Diddy Perozzini here as well in the broadcast. What was that, about, not last week, I think it was the week before. Let's just say young Mr. Corey had somewhat of a terrible race, and there may have been a few eliminations on other people. So then he got the name Al Killer Corey, and that's where it has come from, and just kind of stuck with poor old Al here as well. Bradley's just about trying to get past Gretsch here. Bradley is trying. Harcum's nestled in behind him as well here, Alex. He's getting very tight and very interesting with these guys. I'll be interested to see how they get on here and whether or not Harcum's going to be able to make it up the inside, pushing Bradley out as far as he can up to the wall.
Yeah, and that's going to really compromise Bradley's tyre situation because he's the only one that's gone for a full set of new boots on that car, whereas everyone else would have gone for one side, whether it be left or right. So Bradley's trying to use the more grip than straight outright speed, you know, putting the hammer down. But the thing is, Harcum is pretty much going to be, I think, very shortly past him. But Bradley manages to get the whole shot coming out of the corner, and he's really nearly right up the rear panel of Carl Gretsch in the 27 Chevy. So this is a battle for effectively second on the road behind Hazlitt once Corey, Harmon and Bentley manage to get their pit stops out of the way. So this is the battle for P2 on the road de facto.
Yeah, Max Herzog looking on here as well. Pit stops round about 63. The early stop was Bradley on 52 with Gretsch on 57. Oh, they're getting very, very spicy here. Harcum has not come off that inside line. He has run that inside line like it is absolutely his religion. He has just gone and gripped it. He's now drifted up, and now here we see Herzog having a go out there as well. Harcum's on our right-hand side in the 78 Holy Rollers machine in the Camry. Now Herzog clears Bradley. Bradley had no defense there, Alex. He just had to let him go as these guys were coming through on him, and it's going to be tough for him now. Going to be tough.
Harcum just glanced the right rear on the wall. Big time. I saw a big cloud of chalk being thrown up into the air. I think the biggest problem is Harmon and Corey now opt to pit on lap 83 out of 170. The biggest thing is that Bentley is still out there. He's 12.3 seconds behind, and he's got everyone closing in behind him, including Gretsch, Herzog, Harcum, Bradley, and that quartet are split by probably the best part of just over a second and a half. So Bentley has now got to decide, right, when do I pull the pin on the grenade and get myself down pit road? He's got to do it, I think, on the next lap because he's doing 24.3s. He is not on the pace of everyone else behind him who were on a mid to a low 23. So Bentley's just got to bite the bullet and bang it down pit road very, very shortly. Otherwise, his race will be all undone.
Yeah, absolutely. Bentley now on that high side line. He can't get into the pits. That's the problem being up there. He's got to either lift and come in and sit behind the 57 to get it dropped down. There's pit lane. We're going to see at the bottom right. He's going again. He's on lap 86 with that's one stop strategy for him at the moment. He can go to almost 172 if we even have to go that far. And at the moment, he's just not going in. So Corey just not going a bit. See it. Yeah, he's just gone in. But poor old Bentley has not gone into the pits. And unfortunately, he's sliding. But now look, here he comes. He's gone and pitted on lap 82 as Al Corey. And now he's making gains like a trooper. Is it a master plan for him to come in that late? Or has he made a big old boo-boo? We're going to find out, well, within the next, 82 laps?
Well, considering the fact the man behind him, Matt Harmon's just done a 22.479, a considerable amount quicker. The best part of just over 6/10 on the previous tour. So, yeah, Bentley is now a sitting duck in the number 16 Ford Mustang. As again, we're seeing Corey, who's got, I'm not too sure who that might be behind him. It's not Matt Harmon. I think it might be
Ben Harcum in the 78.
Yeah, I was going to say it was Ben Harcum, who's just done a 23.6. So again, Bentley is still out on the circuit. What is he doing? He's now on lap. Is he trying to push this past? We've just got onto lap 90. Hazlitt is up the road by nearly 13 and a half, just over 13 and a half seconds. Corey's making some moves and he's motoring on. He's actually pulling away from Carl Gretsch in the 27. So, yeah, Corey's late strategy call has injected a little bit of pace for the 45 Chevy. He's about to go up the inside of Tyler Ruelas in the 160 Prime Toyota Camry. But yeah, I mean, Bentley, I don't know where his strategy is coming from, but it's just falling apart at the seams. He hasn't pitted. How far is he looking to push the envelope, Hal?
I have no idea. I've got to be honest. Do you know what I'm more interested in watching? It's just Al Corey driving all past these cars like they are physically standing still. They've got nothing on him, has he? He can go up the high side and just run round. He can go on the inside and just run round. It doesn't matter. He can take the high line. He can take the low line. And at the moment, he has got more grips than Quick Fit. I can tell you that much here as well. Corey has got grip for days. And he is just drifting, going past these guys like they're not even there. He is absolutely flying at the moment, is Corey, and I've got to say, fair play to him. I would say fair play to this man, but I'm not really sure what the hell is going on with Justin Bentley at the moment here, Alex, because he's gone past pit road again. We're on number 93. Is he just planning not to pit, or is he planning? I don't know. Whatever he's planning, Bentley, we'll have a chat at the end here, buddy, because that has just been absolutely incredible trying to get this through. Carl Gretsch under pressure from the 57 of Herzog with the 78 of Harcum in behind as well. That is a back marker, I believe. That could be Harmon in the 28. It is Harmon here. So it's going to be Harmon going through once again. What lap? He pitted on 82 as well. So he's on a killer Corey strategy at the moment. Lap 82, and these guys have got grip forever. As you can see here with Overmar and Benson, Alex, watch how Harmon just comes up. Bentley's in. Right, 95. We've touched lap 95. Technically, he could go to the end, couldn't he? But by the end of it, he's going to be a sitting duck. He's going to be like Bambi on ice.
He was nearly Bambi on ice, and with an assistance of Thumper for good measure. So that's going to drop him out of the top 10. So Corey's going to be promoted up to 9th. But as you said, Al Killer Corey, he's gaining at least half a second on Aston Rice in the 65 Camry, who's up 10 spots to 8th. So you look at the pace now. Hazlitt on a 23.6, Gretsch on a 23.7, Herzog 23.8. Note the repeating pattern, folks, whilst I go down the remainder of the top 8 until I reach Al Corey. Harcum 23.9, Bradley 23.6, Hanlon 23.5, Holder 23, high 23.7, Rice 23.5, Al Corey mid 23.1s.
Do you know the interesting thing behind that is Matt Harmon's on a 22.99. Bentley did not survive the lead lap. He has gone out 2 laps down, which if anybody doesn't know, he's basically got to go around the whole field twice to get onto the lead lap. He's either pulled a master stroke or he's pulled a major boo-boo here as well. As you can see, Benson in the 42 machine with the 57 of Mark Herzog, Carl Gretsch in front of this one. Keith Hanlon is flying as well in that 55 machine. Bradley in the 77. He's trying to make up here. We've got a mix on the screen here, Alex. We've got the front runners. We've got Overmeyer, the back marker. There's all sorts going on at this very short 3/4 mile oval, and somewhere around here is the man who's on the pace in that 45 machine, one Mr. Al Killer Corey, who is being run down by Mr. Matt Harmon in that 28 Chevy as well. We've got some interesting strategies here, Alex, and I'll be interested to see how this is going to plan out by the time they get to the end.
Yeah, shout out to our good fellow JP Broadcasting commentator, Brad Dalton, has just jumped in chat. Hello, sir. He said Jenkins running on that, Bentley running on that Jenkins sprint.
Spirit, dear sir.
Spirit. Yeah, so you know what? The spirit of the race has to go to Justin Bentley for pitting it on lap 95. But again, you know, Bradley now really starting to close in on some of the back markers, including Overmeyer, who really has had a race to forget, and he nearly gets one up the tailpipe courtesy of Jason Benson. They're both going to go high and wide into the next right-hander here at turn 3. And there's the 55, not too far behind that. Yeah, well, that's not good round a short oval, especially when the two Sean Bradley's immediate outside are back markers, including the pole man. But yeah, I mean, look at the run that Handler now gets out of that corner, out of turn 2. He's trying to close in on Bradley, but has to put on the anchors a little bit here into 3. And then they've just got to wait, time it, through the Geico restart phase area. And then again, Bradley, by deciding to go all 4 tyres, he's done the right thing, as in to get a little bit of consistency, but he's running on a high 24.0, and that is going to hurt his consistency in terms of overall lap pace, because you don't want to go around this short oval, 3/4 of a mile here at Richmond, and try and go all guns blazing. You're going to have to use a little bit of consistency. You've got to work on the tyre strat. You've got to work on how much fuel are you using per lap. Are you going to have to be very, very mindful of how hard you brake? Can you carry the momentum through the corners, which have that 14-degree banking, as you said earlier on? And then you've also got to adjust for the banking on the front and the back stretch. So you've got to do all this calculation whilst you're battling away with back markers, people out on track for relevant positions, and also you want to try and maximise the amount of points you get coming out of this race here at Richmond, because short ovals are not easy.
No, they are definitely not. One of the interesting things I'm looking at, right, is Justin Bentley. We know he went in late, right? He was running a wing and a prayer, right? I'm not entirely sure what the strat is, but whatever it is, Bentley is just running a wing and a prayer. I'm a little bit worried for Bentley already, and the reason I say that is on lap 94, so literally 13 laps ago he pitted, and yet his last lap time was still a 23.07. Why I'm saying that, Alex, is everybody else who's come out the pits were doing mid to high 22s. He's running 23.33 in conjunction with Justin Hazlitt, who pitted nearly 40 laps before him, who's still running 23.85s. Either Bentley's not getting this to work, or he's, I don't know, maybe he's tyre saving. I'm not sure what Bentley's doing, but he's not where I expected him to be on a man who's got 40 lap younger tyres than the leader, but is only doing about half a second quicker than what the leader's doing.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think he just overcooked it with going too deep into the first stint. When you want that first tyre change, he should have been in at least at the same time as Al Corey. Yep. Just after 80 laps. Shouldn't have pushed that envelope, because, as I said earlier, you could think it's the best, like it's a 3000 IQ strat, and it just completely tanks. That's exactly what's happened to Bentley. He did a 23.1, his last lap 23.5. So there is a fluctuation in consistency, because he's having to now battle with Joshua Overmeyer, but obviously have they got cars around them? That's the big problem, because he's over a lap down now. He's now going to have to try and fight back. So if he decides, as he gets past Overmeyer for 12th spot, having started 14th, he was running what, P3, P2 at the end of those laps, after Hazlitt, basically just went and did a number on him, because we knew it was the Jaws music was burning in my eardrums like the proverbial plague. It was a case of Bentley is deciding that he's going to try and tough it out, and it just didn't work. It was just like, how hard can you swing at a ball and miss?
The fear is he's not doing what Corey did. Corey, when he cut through the field, like a hot knife through butter, right? And he was literally down low, up high, down low, up high. Bentley, I've not seen over the last few laps that we've been sat here watching it, go on to the higher line to make an overtake. Everything he's done, he's run on the inside. He's going to get another one here as well. 23.61 for a man that pitted on 94. 23.72 for a man that pitted on 56. Is Bentley just not making the advantages that he should have work here? Or does he just not have the pace? Does he just not has he not got the pace running through that Mustang that would be expected for a man that's only on 10 lap old tyres?
Kind of depends on what his strategy is going to be, and that's the crucial point. So you've got to wonder, how is he going to decide when he next jumps in the pit lane? Is he going to take a shorter, more, as we've got a caution, first one of the night.
Yeah, Ward Fisher here as well with Joshua Overmeyer, I believe, and may have had their own little bit of a moment. It's either that or the yellow's just been framed. Oh, there's Overmeyer.
Overmeyer lost it, and then straight away.
That's
Yeah,
coming
that's
off
a
the
real
14,
shame.
that is. That's coming off the degrees. He just got on the back end, held it, boom, snaps back the other way, and unfortunately there is Ward Fisher. Do you know what, though? That probably has benefited Bentley now, right? And it's benefited Bentley because he should, and I say this with things up in the air, my fingers doing these little apostrophe things, should go in with everybody else, Alex. Because he will then get himself back on the main strategy that everybody else has clearly got here.
Yeah, but this is also going to give a free pit stop to a lot of the drivers, like, say, Sean Bradley. Will he decide to dip into the pit lane because he's been out there for, what now, that's 50, that's probably the best part of well over 50 laps for Bradley when he pitted, what was it? Yeah, so they're all going to flood down into pit lane. Here's Nick Holder in the Joseph Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat number 15 Toyota Camry. There's Aston Rice in the 64 Camry. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a case of waiting to see who decides to pit where. And so Hazlitt is in, Handlin, Herzog, Harcum, Bradley, Holder, Benson.
Come on.
Yeah, it's...
You've got to go in. They've
Yeah.
got to go in. And I say this in a terminology of get in. That's going to be the situation here as well. They've got to get into this pits and see what goes on. Can I get hold of Bentley? That's going to be the question. I can't see him here as well. Corey's gone in once more. So great job from Corey. But what we can do here as well, we can have a chat with today's sponsor, of course, the man himself who got to name this series, Ben Harcum. Welcome into the booth, dear sir. Can you hear me okay?
Got you loud and clear, buddy.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, sitting in P3 right now.
You are at the moment, mate. Tell us, where did it come from, the Holy Rollers?
One of my friends at work has a friend that has his own hot sauce company. He just started a couple years ago, and he grows his own peppers and everything.
Nice. So where do people head to get some hot sauce?
www.holyrollershotsauce.com, I believe, is the link.
Ooh. Is it all just hot, though, Ben? My palate doesn't do very well with Vindaloo and stuff like that. Is it all just roasting hot, or can I get like a medium?
You can get like a medium, like a mild. It's not like all like really spicy hot.
Oh.
It's really good.
All right, well, let's get back to the racing now as well. Ben, where do you see yourself come the end?
Hopefully P1. I got to get around the 027 up there, though.
Can you get past Justin, though, because he looks like he's flying?
Yeah, I hope I can.
Oh, well.
I feel it.
You feel it. Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's event. And let's see if you can get that feeling right and get across that line in first place.
Alrighty.
Take care, buddy. Well, there you go, Alex. And I can guarantee that you've just jumped onto Google and gone and www.holyrollers.com, haven't you? Or holyrollershotsauce.com.
No. I've been keeping an eye on Justin Bentley because he still hasn't pitted.
I think it's crazy.
And Kyle Gretsch hasn't pitted either. That's even crazier, and he was at the sharp end.
I don't understand why you wouldn't here.
It's a free pit stop.
Yeah. Free pit stop, free tyres, free everything. Go for it. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure. Bentley or Gretsch? I'm a little bit confused, because if they go in now, they're going to lose it, as we are back up and running here as well. Hazlitt is gone. Mark Herzog tucks it right behind him now as well on the lap 122 here. We have currently got 48 remaining here as well, and Ben Harcum wants to be on Victory Road. Is he going to be able to get there? No, because Hazlitt's looking fire.
Yeah, and he's just opened up a gap to about 0.8 of a second over Herzog. Harcum, well, it was a 23.018 from Herzog, 22.801. Justin Bentley's just done a 21.3. Oh, and Herzog a high 23.2. So they have not been able to maximise the opportunity that they'll have here. Al Corey has just done his fastest lap of the race. He's just improved again, 22.5. And yeah, he's probably the best part of a lap down on Carl Gretsch. But I think that if Corey just keeps on plugging away like he has been doing, he pitted like everybody else did down pit road. But Bentley and Gretsch, I think, have hung themselves out a little bit to dry here, James. And we've still got quite a lot of this race to go. We've got 40 plus laps still remaining of the Holy Rollers Hot Sauce 170 here at Richmond. I think Gretsch and Bentley are going to see the race fall away from them.
Yeah, they
it
definitely
hasn't
are.
worked.
They definitely are. You saw Alex's brief try at maths at 3 a.m. in the UK there, to the point of where he actually gave up. He said 40 something.
It's been a long day.
Yes, you and me both, buddy. I can vouch for that one. I'm on my third broadcast of the day. Yeah? Sean Bradley now trying to get through on Ben Harcum with Mark Herzog. Hazlitt, he's 1.5 seconds out in front already. This guy is looking unstoppable, and unless there is some major boo-boo going on in his house, if Mum comes along and flicks the internet, or
dear, don't.
You know, the electric goes out, all I can see is Hazlitt winning. I can't see past him at the moment, Alex. I'm sorry, I just can't.
No, he's been absolutely clutch here tonight as Justin Hazlitt. He's just literally just opened up a gap. He was, 12 seconds ahead of Herzog before we got the first caution through that incident between Overmeyer and Ward Fisher. And Overmeyer, I don't think he's going to be coming out of pit road. He's been in there for over 5 minutes. I think that's the 22's race over and out. And Ward Fisher has managed to get back out onto the circuit. He must have done a fast repair just to get the 84 Chevy back up to full speed. But yeah, I think it's going to be quite crucial what happens now. Bentley has just lost out to Gretsch. So that's a change for 8th spot. Bentley up from 14th to 9th, but Al Corey is taking lumps out of his delta. He's just taken nearly a second and a half out of him. Gap's now down to 13 and a half seconds between Bentley and Corey, and I think the number 16 will be a sitting duck because Gretsch has been able to really power away from the number 16 Ford.
Yeah, he definitely has. Gretsch has got nothing, no. He's got nothing. He's on 57. So in about 6 laps time, he's 80 lap old tyres here. Corey's in front of us. We've got Harmon chasing down as well. Bentley's up the road here is currently at the moment. So Bentley's moving in on Gretsch. Bentley went in on 94. Why is he struggling so badly on this run? I can't figure it out. I'm still a bit lost there. I wanted to get hold of him. He's not in a voice chat, which absolutely sucked, because I wanted to ask him what his plan was here, and I still can't work it out. I'm still completely, utterly lost. Hanlon, Bradley, Harcum and Herzog are the boys facing this charge of the Light Brigade for that second place there as well. C. Benson in YouTube, this is the best league to broadcast for as well for the triple bypass. We are still on the under 5. Don't forget as well, cautions. We've only had one caution, and that was back on lap 112, where Overmeyer lost it. Ward Fisher come around the corner, and to be fair, Alex, for Ward Fisher, there was really nowhere for him to go.
No, he's carrying a lick of speed, and yeah, it was just the case that Overmeyer just overcooked it, lost the backhand, got loose to the right-hand side, spun in 180, and Ward Fisher went bang straight into the front panel. So that just goes to show you can stick it on pole, but your race can unravel, and that's exactly what's happened to the 22 Camry of Overmeyer. He'll be licking his wounds and looking to fight back for round 5.
Yeah, definitely will be as well. The man who's put it on pole is now in the pit, sitting in 20th place at the moment. We've lost Cameron Kane. He is out here as well. We've still got 19 cars running. Ben Harcum going for the win. That's what he said to me. He's going for the win, and it hasn't started well after that first yellow, because he's just lost a place to Sean Bradley here as well. Did Bradley again put all 4 on? We don't know. He's looking around the same times as everybody else, if not a little bit quicker here. So let's find out what happened. Billy Bentley, whose game crashed? Joshua's or who? Just got the words.
Possibly Cameron's.
Yeah, could be Cameron Kane as well. I haven't seen any message for him currently at the moment, so we'll keep an eye out on that one. Harmon and Corey still pushing each other along here. Don't forget, these guys were the last pit stop runners, apart from, of course, our friend who we can't actually work out what pit strategy he's on, is Justin Bentley, who pitted on 94. These guys pitted on 86 here, but Harmon's had a bad lap there as JC John Campbell. Don't forget, it's a lap down at the moment, running round the outside. Plus, he's got new pedals that has not had time to practice. Justin.
Oh, yeah, so Justin Bentley is out, so we're going to be down another runner in this. So Justin Bentley had new pedals he's not had time to practice with. Well, hopefully he'll be able to get some practice time in before round 5 next week. So, yeah, that's a... I was going to say that maybe Justin Bentley was using the Lemmy strategy, which was the ace of spades, if you like your Motorhead, and trying to go, all guns blazing. But with 30 to go, including this one, Hazlitt is just powering away. He's doing 23 ones. Herzog a tenth and a half slower. Bradley is bringing along Harcum, Handlin and Holder for the final spot on the podium in P3, but then if they can start working together, if Bradley can chip away at Herzog's lead, which is very much happening, this is going to be the run for P2, and they're 3.3 seconds. Now it's going to be a 5-car brawl for this runner-up spot in this race. So I think Bradley, it was 50. His first pit stop was 21 seconds, James. 15 seconds dead. So I think he might have decided to go for the left-hand side tyres only, shorten the pit stop, and put him in a really good position. He might have found that by doing all 4, he might have compromised his grip because the outside tyres aren't taking as much of a battering as the inside tyres, where you're having to turn in, and especially when you're dealing with a 14-degree angle on the banking, you're really having to push the car a lot more to the left to try and get through those corners. And it's easier said than done, and they're coming just up to the 160 Camry of Tyler Ruelas down in 19th position. So again, Herzog might be using the opportunity to get past Ruelas to put a car between him and Bradley, and that might open the gap. As look, there's the 55 up the inside. That's Handlin on Harcum, and Handlin gets through for P4. That's where he qualified. So Ben Harcum might be left a little bit high and dry at the minute.
Yeah, I think so as well. Unfortunately for Ben, who's just gone backwards. He's lost places to Handlin there as well. We've got Howder coming in right behind him. He's saying that his game crashed. I don't know if the pedals had anything to do with it before it started. He said he hadn't practiced with them. Billy, tell him to come and join us here as well. And I don't know if you're on a phone there, Billy, but your autocorrect keeps changing it to petals and not pedals.
It's probably an iPhone.
Yeah, so tell him to come and have a chat with us in chat here. Be interested to talk to him as well. We've still got 35 laps on the board here, Billy, so get him to pop in and have a little bit of a chin wag with him. So I'll be interested to see what his strategy was here, taking it 94 laps before he even thought about pitting. John Nanodge here as well with John Campbell, JC, on that outside line. Nodge goes up the inside. That's a position gained for Nodge here as well. And Carl Gretsch still out there, Alex, with 24 to go and still not pitted since lap 57.
Brave man, but that 27 mellow yellow Chevy won't be having an easy time of it out there. The car might be getting a little bit loose on the back end as he hustles it round the corners. He's having to go, he's not going down as deep into the inside as we're seeing by the Mustang in front of him. So, and that I think is, that's not Aston Rice who's in a Camry, but it's probably Bentley, or it's probably Bentley in the number 16. Well, it's not Bentley in the number 16. It might be Hazlitt that's got through and who's setting 23 threes and has now opened up the gap between himself and Herzog to 3.8 seconds with 22 to go out of the 170. Yeah, this is probably not what Carl Gretsch either wanted on that front, because now he's 11.8 seconds behind Aston Rice. Nick Holder still within 0.2 of Ben Harcum in the battle for fifth, and they're right with Bradley and Handlin. So less than a second between each of the drivers filling out third to sixth spots on the field. So I think the battle for P2 to P6 is going to be very hotly contested when we get down to those final 5 to 10 laps to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is the Harcum, Bradley, Howder going on here as well. You can see Howder's just going up the inside of Harcum now. His quest for the win is not happening at the moment there. Billy in YouTube chat, I told him to get on here there as well. So well done, Billy. Thanks so much for that. We'll see if we can get him into a waiting room or into a steam room, and I will grab hold of him and come and have a chat with Justin as we're in that last 20 to go though. So let's get him on here quick, because at the moment 20 on 20 seconds leaves us about, as I try and do quick maths, 5, 10, 15, 20, about 4 minutes technically if we're going to go all the way green here. Alex, could this be, well, I can't see past Hazlitt, I've got to be honest, but who's going to get the second, do we think? Is it going to be Herzog, Hanlon, Bradley or Howder?
It's like pick a number or bet on red or black. You know, it's so difficult to make a decision on who's going to be better than everybody else. But I think Harcum's starting to slightly slide away from it. He's a second behind Nick Howder, so looks to be losing a little bit of pace. He's just done a high 23.8 as Ben Harcum. So I think the race might not be going to Victory Road as the 78 Camry driver had hoped in that in-race interview with him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When we had a chat with today's sponsor, of course, Ben Harcum and the Holy Rollers Hot Sauce. Do you know, I Googled it, right, because it didn't come up on that website that he gave us, okay? So the website is completely different to the web address that, believe it or not, Ben Harcum actually gave us. So this is their web address if you want to go check them out there as well. They do some great hot-looking hot sauce, mind you. And I Googled Holy Rollers Hot Sauce, Alex, and do you know what come up second?
Go on.
We did. In the broadcast. the broadcast come up second on
Happy
Google
days.
for
Happy
Holy
days.
Rollers Hot Sauce. So there you go. Thank you to Ben Harcum again, of course, sponsored today. Absolutely incredible here as well. But yeah, we come up second on Google. Check us out. Once again, not long to go now, mate. 15 to go already.
Yeah. It's quite interesting how a short oval really does get you thinking quite a bit. I mean, Ben Harcum has dropped away quite a bit now, 23.8. It's not looking good for the 78, the man who kindly sponsored this fourth round this season of the Triple Bypass Racing League out of 14. But yeah, it's still difficult to decide. I mean, Mark Herzog started fifth when we went green, up to second spot on the road. Keith Handlin, third spot. Sean Bradley up from seventh, the sole Canadian in the field, up 3 spots to fourth. So, and then you got Holder, who's made it from the outside of the top 10. But Aston Rice has been the biggest mover up the order, 18th to 7th spot on the field, with 13 to go. An absolutely brilliant drive from the 65 Toyota Camry, and he's running in the mid 23.5. So good on him.
Do you know this one? Right, I've got a funny feeling, and I'm going to say this in the very nicest possible way here for Carl Gretsch. I've got a funny feeling he might have been expecting a yellow that hasn't come, and by the time he realised that he wasn't getting the yellow, it was too late for him to go in. He should have gone in, excuse me, with everybody else on the 112, on the 117 yellow, but he chose not to. Stayed out. I think he was expecting another one. Didn't get another one. And then by that point, Alex, he's committed into what he's in. So therefore, he is where he is.
Yeah, it's like sink or swim, and he's definitely sunk, I'm afraid, as the 27 started on the outside of road 2, inside of road 2, and now finds himself in 8th, 5 places down from P3. John the Crutchley Nodge battling away with Will Jester for 12th. With 10 to go, as Jester goes high, wide and handsome. And the Knowledge looks to go up the inside on the tighter line. Can he get the power down? He looks to do so. And it's going to be close. Oh, don't want to be doing that at that late stage of the race, boys.
I could tell you what, if they did do it though, mate, it would be a battle of the pit stops because everybody would have been in on that one. And if anybody had decided to stay out on that, you'd be off your rocker because you would be what they call a sitting duck here in the UK, which basically means you're there for the taking. And I can guarantee you every one of these drivers would have been out with their double-barrel shotguns taking a pop at you there as well. So a good job they didn't here, and 8 to go now of the Holy Rollers Hot Sauce 170. Go and check them out from the link in the chat. I have got it up ready to look at ordering my hot sauce and seeing if they will come to the UK, but we'll find out whether or not it's going to be in one piece, of course, with the British Post Office service. So could be a bit of a mission there, Alex, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, maybe might get through customs. You just don't know, do you?
Would it not?
No, you never know. Never know. Depending on the Scoville rating, of course, and what hot sauce you've gone for out of the range. But yeah, again, the nudge, John Crutchley gets now past Will Jester, who's up 2 spots, but still 6 to go, and Hazlitt is checking out. He's been doing that all night long.
Yeah, so we best pick up on the leader, to be fair. We haven't really spoken much about him, partly because he's just been so far out the picture, and he's just put it down, and he did the same again from 117. He just absolutely flew away, and it was like 3 seconds up before he'd even gone anywhere, really. Howder, of course, here as well. He's trying to get down to Bradley. Bradley is in trying to get to Hanlon in the 55 green machine with Herzog.
Was there a little bit of a touch?
Yeah, he nudged him. Yeah, I think it was more of a little bump with the hip check, Alex. You know that? Me rubbing his race in here as well. You know, don't forget.
Yep. Get a little bit of a hip check, just for good measure, just if to say, oi, get out my way.
Well, that may have been the full process, I'm not going to lie. Here with a 4 to go now. The only way Gretsch can get anywhere near this, oh, don't do this. Don't do that. Is basically, as I breathe in there as well, I tell you what, my waistline just went in considerably, trying to hold that one in for Bradley. As Howder and him going at it here with Hanlon. Herzog sitting in second, 3 to go now. Don't forget, no yellows on a white flag as well. It's a straight run to the end. We've got 2 to go. Let's pick up on Hazlitt as well. He's just come out of 2. He's going down that back stretch, coming into 3 now. And now we will be adventuring on the white flag lap here, Alex. He's done an absolutely stellar job as Justin Hazlitt. Can't fault him.
No, Barney, the flag marshal, now brazenly waving the white flag on the start-finish straight here at Richmond Raceway. Hazlitt, the Chesapeake driver, has been absolutely faultless. Started from the outside of the front row, has made it work where everyone else found that their strategy or their setup didn't quite work, and Hazlitt has completely profited.
Yeah, Hazlitt comes over the line. Job done. Job won. Holy Rollers Hot Sauce 170 winner is Hazlitt there as well, with Herzog and Hanlon behind him. So Herzog does take that second place. We did wonder where it was going to go, and it went to Herzog there as well. So well done to him. Hanlon as well, absolutely stellar job. Some great racing. This is why I love this. It's been absolutely amazing. And I've got nothing but love for these guys as we bring you up the official results. Where is Hazlitt? Do we have the donuts? There they are. Customary donuts here at Richmond Raceway in the middle. Smoking tires there as well. And he has just done an absolute stellar job there as well. Put it against the wall. Oh, no, donuts in the middle. Justin Hazlitt in first place with Mark Herzog in second. Keith Hanlon in third. Then you've got Nick Howder fourth. Sean Bradley in fifth with Ben Harcum in sixth. Aston Rice up, the biggest gainer, mind you, up 11, putting it in seventh. Carl Gretsch made a mistake with a pit stop strategy in eighth. Al Corey in ninth. Matt Harmon 10th. Jason Benson in 11th. And then John Crutchley in 12th. Will Jester in 13th, John Campbell 14th, Anthony Sparazza in 15th. Didn't really see much of Anthony, with Ward Fisher, who was involved in an earlier incident, in 16th, Grant Parker 17th, and Tyler Rueles down in 18th. And then on from that one are the last ones, Joshua over here, Justin Bentley, who's game crashed as well on his new pedals, and Cameron Kane, who never really got going here either. But it's been a great epic evening of racing once more. I'm going to drop some people into who I want a chat with. Be a little bit careful here because I don't want to drop them into the room while they are still talking to each other. But we will put them down into there. And then can I get hold of you and pop you in there? Oh, yes, sorry, I can. Right.
It's like trying to do a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it?
It is definitely in Discord, mate, as well. But let's start this off by having a chat with the number 55. He was up one place from where he starts. He's gone on to finish onto the podium. Keith Hanlon, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome stuff. How was it out there today?
It was fun. I normally not that good at Richmond, but I made sure to practice some, and it paid off.
All right. How many hours of practice did you put in, Keith?
I think I did 120 or 130 laps yesterday.
It's a full race distance.
Almost.
Almost full race distance there as well. Well done, buddy. Did you think you were going to get that far? You know, at one point I thought we were going to go green flag pit stops all the way through, and I thought we were running. Was it the plan? What was the plan overall in pit stop strategies? Was it 1 or 2 stops?
I was going to do 2. I don't know if that was going to be the winning strategy, but that's what I was going to try and do. I was actually about to pit a couple laps, and that caution came out.
Yeah, I think the caution saved a lot of people, that extra stop, didn't they? And unfortunately for the likes of Carl Gretsch and Justin Bentley, who's game crashed in the end anyway, didn't quite pit on that lap. And I think that was what probably caused them an issue. How bad was it on tyres out there, Keith?
I mean, if you had a good line, the fall off was, a second or so in about 20 laps, but then it wasn't bad after that.
Well done to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining me there as well. Congratulations on your podium, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
No, thank you.
No worries. Enjoy yourself, Keith. Thank you very much for the chat.
Have a good one.
There you go. That was Keith Hanlon there as well. Let's have a chat with the number 57, Mark Herzog. Up 3 places, finishes is in the top 2. Could he have got the victory? Well, let's have a chat with him and find out. Mark, come on. Would you have got it, buddy?
Oh, no way. Everybody was racing for second. I think maybe the only buddy who might have maybe had a chance would have been Sexy Waltrip, because he runs good at here at Richmond. But yeah, we were all racing for second. Justin's just too fast, man.
Yeah, well, Carl Gretsch there made a massive mistake, buddy, and he didn't even pit when the yellow flag come out. He was last pitted on 57.
Yeah, he got caught out on that yellow. He had just gone down pit road when the yellow came out, and so he just drove through the pits to stay on the lead lap.
I think that cost him towards the end. I think he should have gone in there as well. Mark, overall for you, though, how was it racing here at Bristol? 3/4 mile, 14 degrees, coming down onto a flat 8. What was it like out there this evening?
It's good. I love Richmond. It's a great track. I don't always do well, but I really like running Richmond. It gives you 2 distinct corners. You've got to drive 1 and 2 differently than you drive 3 and 4.
Yeah, and just how bad was you out there on tyres at the moment, Mark? How bad was it?
Well, I did pretty good. I think I was at 70, 80 after that first 60 laps when I pitted at 60 laps. So it was probably somewhere around there at the end too. I was pushing it a little hard though, because Keith is having a heck of a run tonight. And he was reeling me in for a little bit, but I was able to stay in front of him.
Yeah. Keith Hanlon doing a great job as well, finishing in 3rd. Mark, congratulations on your 2nd place there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out here before I let you go?
Just all the guys at TPB and Ben Harcum for sponsoring the race. You guys for putting on a really nice broadcast for us. And as always, I got to thank my wife for letting me spend a couple hours out here with you guys.
Oh, I do love it when you come in and thank the wife, because at the end of the day, I'd rather sleep in the bed as well, mate, and not on the sofa for not thanking the wife.
Most definitely.
Yes, buddy. Take care, Mark, and I'll catch up with you soon, mate.
You too. Take care.
There you go. There you go. And the last of the Triple H gang, and I'll explain that in a minute, is Mr. Justin Hazlitt here as well. Did he ever really look under threat? Let's find out. Justin, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Mate, I have just watched somebody give me a masterclass in how to drive Richmond. 3 seconds up within about 3 laps of the restart. You absolutely flew away at the beginning. Man, get training, buddy. Tell us, how was it out there for you?
It was good. My left wrist hurts real bad. I don't usually run that long of races, but no, I love Richmond. I love to do good here. I live about an hour and 40 minutes from the track, so it's technically my home track. Actually, if you ever see Langley up on here, that one's like 30 minutes from me. But I do love Richmond, so I like to do good here.
All right, what was it? What was the secret? Why were you so rapid? You had barely any tyre fall off by what I could see in your lap times coming towards everybody else's stint was about 1.2, 1.3 away from their best times. You were sitting on that borderline second mark. Then after the restart, you just seemed to have a rocket or a big old tank of NOS in your car, and you flew away like a trooper. What is it, Justin? How come you were so quick?
The trick here seems to be you can't overdrive the entry too hard. So you got to sacrifice like a like 100th or so on entry to center, and then you just get nice and set up for a really, really strong center out. These cars, they don't like to get the power down. They want to get squirrely on you as soon as you do. So if you get them nice going in a straight line and you can get the power down, you're not having to have the wheel crank, so it doesn't tear up the right front. It's not going to tear up the right rear because it's not going to get loose on you, and it's just nice, smooth up and off the corner. It just so happens to be the best tire saving and speed.
Okay, well, we've got Thomas in chat as well who said, let's go. So there we go. Big support as well for you there as well, buddy. Listen, mate, anyone you want to shout out before I let you go? Because you've just been amazing today.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody over at On Edge Racing. But I wanted to specifically thank Hippo Racing Designs. He made my paint tonight. T.A. Hood is the owner of Hippo Racing Designs, and I wanted to thank him for hooking me up with the paint tonight.
Well, I better give him a shout out, as he is in YouTube chat as well. He said Hippo Racing Designs, piloted by Justin Hazlitt in the winner's circle. So,
absolutely, I did a nice little burnout for him too.
Yeah, you did, and we saw that as well. Do you know what? Do you know the thing is as well? The only one bad thing I would say, Justin, is you didn't put it above into the wall and just burn out the batteries.
I did it at the end. I did. I actually I pulled up right to the Richmond on the start finish line. I did that.
Yep. All right. I'm going to go and have a look in a minute because I didn't see that, Justin. I can tell you that much. But if you did, buddy, well done to you. And I'll catch up with you soon, mate.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
And you take care. Hold on a minute. Did I miss him do that then? Because I didn't see that. Did you?
Well, I saw the donuts. That's good enough for me.
Mate, I want to see the burnout against a wall. I was so enthralled by that Netflix series that they were literally just burning out tires, sticking it against the wall, and literally the rubber coming out the back end. They were driving on nothing by the time we finished burning this out. But it was a great evening of racing, Alex. You know, one caution. We stayed under the under fives, which was great for us all here as well. Not a bad evening of racing, was it?
No, pretty clean. Really interesting different strategy calls from the standard to the absolutely ridiculous. But all in all, a pretty good race. Great battle for what ended up being P2. But yeah, Justin Hazlitt for me absolutely nailed it. Didn't have to put it on pole in qualifying, but he explained that, you know, having to sacrifice a little bit here or there gave him the possibility to have a really good run out of the corners. and really maximise his opportunity and a pony car wins at Richmond. So yeah, got to see how round 5 pans out next time out for Triple Bypass Racing League. It's been an absolute hoot being alongside you in the comms box for this one, buddy.
Yeah, it definitely has it. I'm going to pick up on whether or not he did this burnout. Give me 2 minutes. As I want to see if he put it against the wall. Because if he did put it against the wall and I completely missed it, I'm not overly impressed here with myself. So
whilst you have a look, shall I tell the folks that are watching on JP Broadcasting what's coming up?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, well, at 8 p.m. UK time, which is a little bit over, just under 17 hours from now, we got round 2 of the Sim Racing Collective F4 Sprint at Summit Point. And then 50 minutes after that starts, we've then got Season 3, Round 5, live from the Hungaroring of the JPB TCR Euro Sprint Cup. And then we head to Super Formula action with iFormula League Series 1, Round 3 at Barcelona. The day after, we'll also have the IFL F3 Series. And then, as always, like we always like to do here on the JP Broadcasting Network, it's Imola Round 6, IGP Fun, Formula 3, Season 1, 2023-2024, the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. And there's going to be a lot more coverage coming up next week, such as JPB NASCAR Super Series, Round 3 at Bristol, JPB GT4 Round 8, Season 3 at Mount Panorama, Radical Race Series from Road Atlanta, TSRC GT3 Series from Spa, and the list goes on and on. But if you haven't, folks, why not like, share, subscribe, and check out our social media channels in the description down below.
Absolutely there as well. I found it. You did put it against the wall, you're right. Although it wasn't very long, I'll give you that one. But Justin Hazlitt did put it against the wall. So fair play to him there as well. That's going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you so everybody who has joined us here as well. Bradley Thornton for jumping in. C. Benson for keeping it going. Billy Bentley, I never did get me chat with Justin. I'm not happy here as well. Werrod for coming in earlier on as well, and Thomas Hood and Thomas Hazlitt at the end. But that's it, guys. That's going to round it out. I'm off to bed. I've been James Parfitt alongside Alex Goldschmidt here this evening. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.
Jungle.